Monster Boy and the Cursed Kingdom is a kind of like a puzzle platformer game. It's developed by FDG Entertainment, who also developed Blossom Tales, which is another Switch game. That was more of a top-down Zelda-style game, and this is more of a side-scrolling puzzle platformer. You play as this blue-haired kid with a sword and a shield, and you have equipment that you can equip, like boots that make you heavier so you sink in the water, kind of like in Zelda games. But as you are going about basically the tutorial, at the end of the tutorial, your uncle shows up, and your uncle has this wand, and the thing has clearly driven him mad, and he starts casting spells on everybody and turning them into various monsters. Like your brother turns into some kind of bird, or at least something that can fly. Probably not a bird. It's more like a small dragon or something like that. And you get turned into a pig. Now, the different forms that you end up having as you play the game will have different abilities. So you'll have the human form, the snake form, the lion form, the pig form, dragon form, which I haven't unlocked that yet. And all of these will have different abilities. In fact, as you play, you're going to run into places where they're like, oh, come back here later when you have the ability to jump higher, because when you are a pig, you can't jump very high. You're kind of slow moving. You're not very combat worthy, and maybe later on you get the ability to jump high, or if you're the dragon, maybe you can fly a little bit. And so then you go back and you'll be able to unlock things that way. Almost kind of like a Metroidvania, but it doesn't really feel like a Metroidvania. It feels just like a puzzle platformer. It's got pretty decent graphics. I really like the animations. The animations of the characters are fantastic. And in fact, I love the way that they animated the pig. The way that the pig moves is very, very funny. And I think that they've done a great job with that movement. It feels like, as I'm playing it, feels like it's something that they have gone... They've tried to mimic a hand-drawn style, but it was clearly done on computer because it's way too clean. I would like it better if it was a little more minimalist. There's a lot of detail in the characters, and I don't know that that's not a bad thing. It's just something that struck me as not the choice that I would have made. But, I'm not the art director for a game, so shut up, Bill. I really don't like the music. I don't like the music at all. The music sounds like something that would play in a restaurant, and it is repetitive. It is kind of annoying. It's a little irritating, and I really don't like the music. Let's talk about the gameplay. So the gameplay is pretty good. The controls are decent. I've been playing using the Joy-Cons. I really like the short throw stick on the Joy-Cons because it allows you to change direction very quickly. I feel like when you're playing 2D games, the Joy-Cons are really the best way to go, in my opinion. And when you're playing like a 3D game, you're better off using the Pro Controller in that case. Use the right tool for the right job. As I played this game, I found parts of it to be endearing, like figuring out the puzzles. I really like the puzzle part of it. But the combat with the enemies I found to be very frustrating. You don't have a lot of health, at least early in the game. And when you get hit, it takes away a lot of your health. And you can end up dying a lot in the game. The checkpoints are a little too far apart for my liking, and you don't always know when you've hit a checkpoint either. It's not always obvious. There'll be specific checkpoints that you'll see, and you'll be like, "Yep, that's definitely a checkpoint." But then, if you pick up an item, that will also be a new checkpoint. Or if you solve a puzzle, that will also be a new checkpoint, so that you don't have to solve those things again or pick up the items again, which is good. But I would like it if it would say, like, checkpoint or something on the screen to indicate that. But as I was playing the game, I ran into issues where I would almost get to the next checkpoint and I'd get killed because I don't have enough health, or because I made a mistake, or because, like, there's this one part in the Misty Woods, I think it's called, where you are walking through mud and you kind of sink down into the mud, yet the enemies that you have to fight against walk on top of the mud, and it makes the combat very frustrating because, like, you're playing as this pig and the pig has the ability to, like, ground stomp, but that doesn't work in the mud, so it kind of takes away the best ability that the pig has. Because if you ground stomp next to a monster, it will get stunned for a second, and then you can unload a bunch of punches on it in order to defeat it. But if you're fighting against these mud monsters, you can't fight that way. And it drives me crazy whenever I see mud on the screen. I immediately want to reach for the power button and just say, I don't want to play this anymore. The checkpoints can be a little far apart because as you get close to it, if you die, you go back to that checkpoint, and if you hit that same, like, if you run into that same issue over and over and over like I did, it'll be enough to make you say, no, I'm going to go play something else for now. I don't want to say that it's a bad game, because it's not. I think it's well made. It does cost $40. I don't usually mention the price of video games. There's a reason for that. First off, the price will tend to fluctuate from time to time. And secondly, what is a very expensive luxury to one person will be a paltry sum to somebody else. So I don't like saying that I think it's too expensive for what it is. And I certainly haven't finished the game yet. I've got a lot more to play. But as I play it, I feel like I don't think I would have spent $40 on this. I did receive it as a review copy, but it's not. This isn't an ad. I don't know that I would have spent $40 on this, and I don't know that I can recommend it unless you really like this kind of game and you're also good at this kind of game. For me, I tend to be bad at just about every kind of game except for, like, healing in World of Warcraft. Like, healing in an MMO, I tend to be good at that. Any other type of game, I'm mediocre and just barely good enough to get by. I'm bad at this style of game, and it gets very frustrating when I keep dying in the same spot over and over again. I almost wish that there was a mode where I could just say, hey, let's put this on easy mode and give me 10 hearts instead of 3 hearts, because 3 hearts is just too few at the very beginning. The difficulty has weird spikes. It's not like a gentle ramp. It will spike up in difficulty. The first boss just absolutely destroyed me. It took me 3 or 4 tries to beat it, which I don't mind a challenge when the challenge is also really fun. But the fight itself is just kind of vanilla and not much there. So I can't recommend Monster Boy and the Cursed Kingdom, and I know that I am probably in the minority. I've heard a lot of people say that they like this game a lot. I think it's okay, but I'm to the point where the frustration level has made me not interested in continuing. That being said, I probably will continue because I want to see how it changes as I unlock the other abilities. Right now, I've got the human and the pig form, and that's it. And the pig form is very, very boring. And I've heard that the game gets much better when you get the other forms, but playing through the pig form it's a struggle, and I'm not having fun with that struggle. If something changes and I end up really liking the game after I get past the just having the pig form, then I will let you know. Anyway, thank you for listening. If you haven't already, make sure that you check out my podcasts. I've got multiple podcasts that you can check out. Run Jump Stomp is my generic video game podcast. It is your thoughts on gaming. It's a call-in show about video games. Nintendo Switchcraft is my Nintendo podcast. And then I've got a conversational podcast with my buddy Richard called 78 Degrees. You can find all of those wherever podcasts are found. Thank you for checking out the video, and I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.